Good morning, pregame crew. It is Wednesday, February 23rd, 8:21 a.m. 6 Eastern, 6:21 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Chart Gal Lori. Let's see if we can get the show on the road today. AWS, be gone. Amazon, whatever, their internet system just really affected a ton of websites, and YouTube was one of them. So sorry about yesterday morning. If you're joining us for the first time, or you tried yesterday, that doesn't normally happen. And if today's your first time, welcome. All I ask of you is to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you would like, and good morning, Jose and New Chuck. Thank you. My day can get started. Alejandro, Amara, Asia, Joe, Matt, Blue Dog, Train Man, Mark, my girl Tammy, my dude Mark. Hello. Anthony, Keggers, Michelle, Jonathan, Rick, Topher, Dino, Cambridge, JB. And there's my friend Roger and Night Truck. Good morning. And there's Madison. Hi, Madison. Hey, Jorge. Okay. Cambridge wants us to look at space. You get what you want, especially after yesterday's debacle. Potential 4-hour bear flag. I hope you could see that right here. They had earnings yesterday. So let me just show you that retrace. Oh. So it can make it all the way up to $9.06 and still be a potential bear flag. That's how much it's pulled back. So let's go look at it on the daily. Low of yesterday, 769. So we're still holding this level. So this is definitely a low risk, high reward bottom fish, yet a high probability of getting stopped out. So recognizing that. Their revenue was $140,000. That is abysmal. And below 758 and 750. Yeah, 758. Your next support is $7 psychological, and then 690. This is a bearish looking chart. A little EQ here on the 30-minute, resistance 826 and then 828. I'm going to ignore this wick, and then support at 802 and 791. Hey Joe, hey Matt, how are y'all? Everybody doing good? Home Depot had earnings yesterday and Lowe's had earnings today. We live, Karkuki, yeah. Okay, wait, someone had another one. Okay, I'm trying to stay in order. I don't like to play favorites. 1 second, someone had a B. So Space did that one, BCRX. Yep, taking a fall on earnings. You see the earnings there, the little E. They had earnings this morning, reported 10 cents. Well, that was a beat on earnings, but revenue was a miss, so they're getting hit. So we're at 1655. So we're still in a weekly uptrend on this name. Support is way down at 1286, so anything above 1286 is a weekly high or low. On the 4-hour, we're approaching oversold. That could be a bottom fish level. Support, lower reaction, 1601, then 1514. Resistance is at, I'm going to go with 1750, the low over here, and then 1807, and then 1834. That's a pretty high level. I don't know if that actually happened on volume. So low of the reaction is key here on out. But overall, we're looking for a weekly higher low as we approach 4-hour oversold, and that's typically a good place to bottom fish, but we need price to react, and we need friends with us on the trade. BCRX did that one. Good morning. From Holland, hi. From the UK, hello. Look at Sol. Do we have Sol? Okay. Is this a falling wedge? Let me look at it on the weekly. Okay, we have a double bottom here. This is pretty. Look at this double bottom, $80.83 and $81. Okay, and then our key resistance is 121.99. Now let's go look at the daily. On the daily, this has a bit of a falling wedge look. 96.16 could be proved to be strong resistance on first try, but right now, crypto is in favor. Hourly RSI is overbought. Bears are going to be looking to step in here and short that 96.16. We need price to react, and we're reacting here. We have a little bit of a double top, perfect little double top actually. 93.42, 93.35. You could top fish right over that, put your stop around 93.50 for a low risk, high reward, yet high probability of getting stopped out. That hourly overbought has me more confident with that trade setup. Then 92.25 is your support, and then 91.67. Sounds good for you. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, EEM for Amira Asia. And we'll get started here with indices, commodities, cryptos, movers, and shakers of the day in a couple of minutes. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis, and you are at the pregame show. We're getting a bounce overnight after Biden's announcement yesterday of sanctions. The sanctions were not as rigorous or punitive as the market expected, and it responded favorably. Okay, let's go look at emerging markets. Not like that, like that. Okay, so we broke to a lower low. Not a lot of follow through. We broke through 48.12 at 47.72. That's 28. That's a 40-cent bear break. That may still be a triple bottom, but man, I'm really taking some creative liberties there. We're just getting these lower lows without a lot of follow through. I'd take note of that. 47.93, 47.72 are your key supports, and key resistance 48.37 over the high of yesterday. You've changed the hourly trend, or more than likely changed the hourly trend. If you were to take another leg to the downside, don't forget this little level over here. Even though 46.52 is the closest in proximity to support, prior supports could serve as support or resistance again because price has memory. Good morning. XLE. Oil's getting beat up. Potential 4-hour bear flag. Man, I should have looked at this one this morning. This could have been a queen of the mountain. Look at that bearish engulfing candle where the whole price action yesterday engulfs the prior day. And that's because these war tensions are easing just slightly. Oil was spiking on the thought that Russia could hoard their oil and our supply go down worldwide, and that's not happening so far. So potential 4-hour bear flag. I would look to short bounces on XLE. 67.49 is your resistance, and I have a bearish thesis on oil as well. Hey, Andre, well, that's very nice. Very sweet. I have a crazy brain, so there's that. Not crazy good, just crazy. Ask my daughter. She's on the channel right now. Okay, we have a potential, or we have a daily confirmed head and shoulders. You see that? And we broke the neckline here at 58.25, 58.23. We had a double bottom. So head and shoulders confirmed on daily. You have earnings tomorrow, February 24th. Then your next support, 54.71. And 59.03 is your next resistance. Y'all cute. You live on the moon? Okay, cool. PLT. What is this? Package software. Potential 4-hour bull flag. Daily RSI is overbought, running into resistance, or shouldn't say resistance. Congestion is probably the better word. 403 and 410 are your resistances. Support 370. Gun to head, you cannot make me go long up here. Our hourly's overbought. We got some bearish divergence, which I don't give a lot of weight to because all it means is that we're just cooling off RSI sideways versus we're doing it, as Denzi would say, in time versus in price. So I'm not terribly worried about the bearish divergence, but the fact that we are overbought on so many time frames. Bears will be watching 410 for a potential short against 415. Guess what? It's 8:30 a.m. Eastern. It's time for the pregame show. Welcome! What do y'all think about the new thumbnail? If you have any thoughts, I'd appreciate it if you could put it in the comments. If you don't have thoughts, that's okay too. Bad, good, indifferent, it's all right. I'm down with it. Chart Gal Lori at Twitter. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. And I don't know if you know what we do, but we have this little community, this little tiny community of 1,061 of my closest friends, and I give you the notes ahead of time there. And we have King L, who he's busy this morning. He typically gives the notes after the show. We give you tons of news flow, constantly keeping you updated on earnings, upgrades, and we have channels for commodities, uranium, crypto, thriving crypto channel. We cover psychedelics, futures. We cover it all. That's right, Fred. You like it, Mark? Good. You like the new thumbnail? Good, 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 good. Hey, Marcus in Brazil, good morning. All right, so what I do here every day, besides cause a little ruckus, is I go over indices, commodities, cryptos, movers and shakers of the day, and it is my goal to get you prepared for the day. Is everything that I'm going to say come to fruition? No. As soon as I turn that microphone off, new data is released. It's like you're playing blackjack or what is that, poker, when they reveal cards in the river or in the stream or whatever. It's like as soon as I close the microphone, a new card is revealed and it changes the probabilities, whether they're in your favor, out of your favor. So I always say I wake up every morning, I find all the puzzle pieces dumped on the floor. I grab those puzzle pieces and I try to put them together for us and just get an infrastructure, just a layout for the day. And we're looking at if-then scenarios. What is a higher probability over another scenario? And then we trade accordingly. So that's what I do here. Thank you for joining me. Hit that like button if you can. Let's get started. And I know all of you are always interested in what is my chart setup. So I'm going to tell you a little secret. My chart setup is simple, even though it's colorful. I like colors, but it's pretty simple chart setup. And I continue to pare it down. The more years I trade, every year I pare it down. But if you're interested in the chart setup, the link is down in the description below of the YouTube video. You can just click on that link. It's going to take you over to our website. You can get a PDF and you'll get an email of my chart setup. And check your junk folder that very first time that you complete that request form. And the yellow candles are probably the number one asked question. The explanation is in that PDF, why I choose the Fibonacci math series for my EMAs, yada, yada. But the inside bars are yellow, and that just shows me tightening ranges. So let's look at our notes. Okay, so good morning. QQQ, I want to go over that opening range breakout example. You can use alerts for orb crosses. Let's do that right now. Because my goal every day is not only arm you with trade ideas, but arm you with a fishing pole. What is your edge? And I know a lot of you struggle with what your edge is. And if you're struggling with trading and being consistently profitable, it's because you haven't clearly defined your edge that's specific to you. What might be my edge may not work for you. So you have to define your edge that's specific to you. If you're not making profit, you're struggling emotionally, being emotional, and you don't have your edge clearly defined. So last week I introduced the orb, and my purpose in introducing the orb was not to be fancy, because actually I like the opposite. I like to be as simple as possible, and with an accent like this, you can't be fancy. But my goal is just to give you tricks, tips of the trade to help you become a more profitable trader. So wait. Come on. Where's my orb? Is it turned on? Yep. Just takes a while to populate. And what I wanted to show you yesterday is we ran right into that resistance on orb. Right here. So that pullback dip buy was a great place to buy on QQQ. We broke through the support on orb, opening range breakout, and all this indicator does is it maps out the upper range of the first 15 minutes and the lower range of the 15 minutes. And that may not be a true price action support resistance as far as where price pivots, but it can act as synthetic resistance or support for later on in the day. So we broke back through that resistance line on orb. It was a good place to short. We broke through the support line on the orb. It was a great place to go long. So just continue to play around with this. I'm probably not doing a great job explaining this. Too much athletic greens, too much coffee, but I'd really welcome you to play around with this and see if it can provide an edge to you in trading your opening range breakout. Conditions have changed this year. So here are just 5 things I just want to remind you that if you are a consistently successful and profitable trader in 2021 and you have found great pain in 2022, that's okay. That's normal. Conditions changed. And the most important part is noticing that the conditions changed. And swing trading is a little more difficult if you're not hedging. Option premiums are totally juiced. So if you've been writing options the last couple years, you've been making bank. If you've tried to write a ton of options this year, you've been getting hosed because the option premiums are juiced because volatility is up. We got to be faster at taking profits, faster at taking losses. What do I tell y'all? It's like drink coffee, do stupid stuff faster. When you make a stupid trade or a wrong trade, it may not be stupid, may be very calculated, but it just goes against you. It happens. Be wrong faster. Cut it. And those that are following these steps this year are profitable in 2022. Set alerts. If you're not fast, set an alert. Mental agility is absolutely rewarded in this environment where you can just change directions quickly. And if you can't, then you're going to have to take trades on higher time frames, be more methodical, but set those alerts. They'll help you. How will they help you? Let me show you. Yeah, if you could hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. So yesterday in the room, I was calling out that we hit this double bottom. Was it because I'm just so smart and I'm scanning 40 charts at once? No, it's because I set an alert. Tell me, I did it right here live. I did it with y'all. Was it yesterday on that brief one or Friday? I set an alert for 33450. Tell me when price nears 33415. Does that mean $334.50 is support for QQQ? No, it gives me time to go look at charts, go look at SPY, evaluate things. Do I want to take this long? And I took this long yesterday and I posted in the room. Here we are. We're at a double bottom on the weekly. Perfect double bottom. Perfect. Actually, I wrote that yesterday. Low risk, high reward. Low risk, high reward hunting. So if you are struggling or you're in a rut, my fave edge to get out of that rut is go back to what works. And then you can also use double bottoms, double tops as potential areas to trade. It'll get you out of your rut, because if you're wrong fast and you just stop out, and it'll get you back up on that horse quicker. So what we're looking at this morning is ES 4-hour EQ equilibrium, where we're in an area of balance. We're scouting that weekly high or low on SPY. NQ has a potential 4-hour IHS, inverse head and shoulders. NQ has a 4-hour EQ. Let's look at it. So right now, you see how this is not an inverse head and shoulders? It's not even an Adam and Eve pattern. Let me look at it on 2-hour. No. So on the 4-hour, we're just tightening up. So resistance on ES 4358, 4391, support 4261 and 4250. If you ever wonder where these are drawn, let's say like here, if it doesn't have an actual label, you can look over to the right and it's light gray. 426150 is that key support. Now look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ has more of an inverse head and shoulders on price action, but look at ES. It has inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour and RSI itself. NASDAQ has it in price action itself. So we have support at 13710, 1358025. We have resistance on the hourly at 1406875, 1410825. I can't tell you how important NQ is to get its butt off its duff. Is that the right word? Get off its duff and get to work today. We need NASDAQ to come be the cavalry here. Get us over that 4-hour 50 RSI. We're developing a squeeze. We got some volatility kind of building up on lots of charts. So I showed you that on QQQ. US 10-year. What we're looking at on US 10-year is a potential daily lower high. This could be a little daily bear flag, and we need this to roll over for bullish tech. RTY on the 4-hour tightening up. We have a little inverse head and shoulders on RTY here in the RSI, but not in price action. That's still bullish. 4-hour EQ. Resistance 201760. That's misplaced line right there. 201760 and 202590. Support 1966.40 and 1959. Okay, you are what you eat. Thank you. I appreciate that feedback. MG, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, MG is our moderator. He's in the room. We may have others that could answer any questions you have. I'm going to keep ripping through charts. And we have Dan. He'll be live in 20 minutes in the TCG room. And then we may have Jason or Lamont will be live midday. Jason will be live end of day. So we have 3 live streams where we answer whatever your chart requests are every day in TCG. And if you're interested in my chart setup, you can click in the description below of the YouTube video and it'll take you there as to what all these squiggly lines mean on my chart. YM. YM is the only one that has lost the 4-hour higher highs. Excuse me, that is not in a 4-hour EQ. We did not establish a higher low on the 4-hour. We established a lower low. However, on the weekly, we're still holding this ever important 33031. Look at this squeeze developing on YM. And this can fire to the downside, but we have lots of volatility building up on lots of charts. So RTY is in that 4-hour EQ. Dow is the weakest of the Fab 4, 4-hour lower low. VIX marked the temporary top of the market. What a gift. Look at that daily double top. Top ticked it to the penny right here. 3304, we hit 3304. Now that was Sunday night. Now look, so here, this was the Biden speech, 3152. We got a lower high here and down she went, and we have this little hourly bear flag that's looking to confirm. So VIX, this marked the low of the market. And then yesterday's speech gave another opportunity to bottom fish with that VIX lower high. Bitcoin, 4-hour higher highs, higher lows. So it could be the canary here. We have squeezes building. Crypto is leading us. And we've been talking about this. We're on what, 5 weeks now of crypto giving us signals and leading the charge or to the upside or to the downside. Gold has a potential 4-hour head and shoulder, potential 1-hour bear flag. Oil with potential daily diamond bearish reversal pattern. And NG with a potential 4-hour head and shoulder. So bear, bear, bear on commodities. Let's go look at crypto because y'all get a little cray-cray when I skip Bitcoin. Okay, so let's tighten this up. 4-hour is not the best time frame on crypto. 6-hour is. So let's see. I want to do the percentage. How big of a drop was this? 8%. So can we climb the fence of 8% and go straight back to a higher high? We have plenty of runway left on the RSI. You see that? But we're coming up on that 50 RSI. Bears are going to be waiting right here at 3950691 for a top fish. We're running into the 6-hour 21 EMA. We're running into that very important 6-hour resistance. So are we going to establish a lower low? Look at the volume dropping off. Now, volume was overnight. That may not be the best indicator or extra information because we're judging a time frame that's typically lower volume, but overall I would be looking for the 6-hour lower high. Hi Michael, how are you? Okay, so on Bitcoin your next support is 37555. Same thing for Ethereum. We're looking for a potential 6-hour lower high. Volume's dropping off, and it is the perfect setup and framework for a top fish of 2760. Using that declining volume, however, we know it was overnight again. We're coming up on that 6-hour 50 RSI. Bears will be aggressive. Bears will be looking to top fish 2760, but you got to wait for a pause on a lower time frame, at least a 2 or 5 minute for it to get a downtrend. Okay, gold. Gold with a potential 4-hour head and shoulders. And if we break 1889.70, that would be the bear break. I am short gold right now, looking to short. We do have a squeeze. We are holding the 50 RSI, so I'm cautious. If we get over 1915, I will stop out of my short. Oil. Oil has a potential daily diamond bearish reversal pattern. If you're a member of TCG, I did a video on that on Monday, and we could have had a vol climax here. We do have a squeeze forming. We are holding 50 RSI. So I'm cautiously bearish oil, but I have not acted on it. So the diamond pattern has this higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low right here at 87.46, lower high. So typically in this pattern, you're going to want to top fish that second lower high. So maybe around $92. I'll be looking $92.50 to short oil again. We do have inventory tomorrow. Our schedule's off due to the holiday on Monday. Absolutely. I use the time frame to tighten things up and gives me the most clarity. If I have little bobbles in the chart that don't make sense, and I'm going to keep tightening it up, and usually it's zooming to a higher time frame to give me clarity. I don't want to make stuff up or try to force a square peg in a round hole. So we talked about oil, nat gas. Nat gas, a potential 4-hour head and shoulders. Caution, caution. We have inventory tomorrow. I believe it may be Friday, but I bet it's tomorrow. Support 4448 and 4371. Again, all three commodities charts that I normally cover, to me, have bearish setups at the moment. Braden, no, but God bless you. Cameron is beautiful. I wish. She is gorgeous. All right, Apple, I'm going to keep this downtrend line. I mean, I hope Dan's not listening because this trend line goes around this little kind of inside that candle a little bit, but I'm not mad at it. And Dan may not be mad at me if I did. Let me see if I can clean it up a little. Yeah, let's see what happens with this downtrend line on Apple. Apple has been stronger than most in pre-market over yesterday's high of 16669. I like it long, but I prefer to buy a pullback. I ignore these wicks when the brokers open, but I'd like to buy a pullback on Apple. I like it long. I like the squeeze. We're battling with the 50 RSI. Over yesterday's high would put us over that 50 RSI, and we do have a bull confirmation on the momentum histogram on the TTM squeeze. Now that was a lot of words. AMD. Hey Piyush, I will try to get to it if I can. So AMD had an upgrade yesterday and then they EQ'd out. They were definitely stronger than most. We held the 50 RSI. I like a pullback buy around 117.50 if possible. This is a pretty strong chart. However, I'm acutely aware that on the 4-hour, we're looking for a lower high, and on the daily, we're looking for a lower high. So aggressive bulls will be looking to buy that any pullback on AMD around 117, 116. Aggressive bears are looking to top fish that 4-hour lower high. Let's look at bros. No, always. I do not trade Forex. I trade futures very often. I have a futures position on right now, but not Forex. No. And not for any particular reason. If if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. 4-hour potential falling wedge, bro, on Dutch Bros Coffee. My daughter's online now. She can tell you she loves Dutch Bros. I think she does. My son does for sure. Potential falling wedge looking to bottom fish 4801, but be nimble on this one. It would be my contention we could get to 47.50 and it's still being a 4-hour falling wedge. Careful, spreads are still wide. Pullback buy to 48 and a bull break over 49.59. Facebook, we're still daily oversold on RSI, weekly oversold on RSI, yet the hourly has cooled off, darn it. But a pullback to $200 could be a dip buy area. If I could, I won't tell any names or anything specific, but if I could just share with you the cool people and posts that we have in our community. We have people with very unique talents and gifts that do math in their head, and they're just brilliant people. And we had someone share some profound numbers, fib numbers and extensions on Facebook as a particular example, and it's just fascinating. I just love all the people we have in our community and all the value that we add in different ways. So $200.06 is your support, your low of yesterday. I like this chart to the long side. I'm looking for that daily and weekly bounce once that weekly higher low is put in on QQQ. Lowe's had earnings this morning. They're bouncing. They weren't bouncing when I drew this. So I like to pull back buy of 214.54. Lowe's earnings looking for that monthly higher low, daily approach oversold. So on the monthly, we have plenty of room for a higher low. And on the daily, we were approaching oversold. So I like a bounce on low, but I'd like a pullback buy. And this is for earnings ninjas only. PANW, what a mess of a chart. I can't show y'all that with good conscience. I drew too much. So for 511.97, we went over that. We got to upgrade this morning. They beat earnings ninjas only. And what I like to do, y'all know, I like to do high of low bar where I wait for a pullback. Let's say this is the 2-minute chart. That's an ugly candle. And then I like to buy that high of low bar break. Dan has a video and it's very similar to what I'm explaining. He does a stair step video and it's very similar. And that's what I like to do on very bullish reactions, but I can't just buy a gap and go. Gap and goes rarely work for me in my experience. I'm more accustomed to gap and crap. So I like to buy pullbacks on especially super bullish earnings. And on Tesla, hourly inverse head and shoulders on the table. And I like this chart. And maybe I'm taking too many creative liberties. Maybe I'm not. But I like a pullback buy, and I went to the 15-minute on this one of 817.37. I just don't see us coming back that far with this morning's bullishness. So even 830 area for a pullback buy. But we have to be agile. If we're wrong, we're wrong. Fred, you are our community. Absolutely. We have great, colorful people in our pregame crew chat. Here's the thing. I don't get to know y'all as well as I do the community members. So y'all contribute wonderfully, and I love you all, and I appreciate you being here, but I just don't get to know you like I get to know the people in our community. All right, so I'm giving you a bunch of stuff over here on XLF. Now this is me being super contrarian. So I like a diamond bearish reversal pattern on XLF, and it would be ideal on the weekly if it EQ off to the right, volume would drop off, and then once we break, volume would pick up to the upside or downside. I like that it's holding 50 RSI. That gives me a bullish bias. We're holding the weekly 21 EMA. We have a squeeze. This looks pretty powerful, whether we break to the upside or to the downside. Either way, XLF has a big move coming. That is a powerful squeeze. So just want to put that on your radar. So let me go back to my notes. Oh, Zoom. Zoom's looking for an hourly. I forgot to add that to my playlist over here. So Zoom, weekly oversold, daily oversold. Earnings next. Earnings next week. We have a squeeze forming. So weekly oversold, daily is just bouncing. 4 hour is bouncing. It had this weird wick up to 130.73. On the 15-minute, I like a pullback buy of 126 with these squeezes on so many time frames on Zoom. Looking for a bounce on Zoom. All right, that's it for my list. What do you have? Thank you, MG. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, hit the like button. So I guess I need to explain the thumbnail. I enjoy irreverent, like Moose Jaw. I don't know if you've ever looked at Moose Jaw. They have some pretty funny stuff, pretty funny explanations to their actual clothing, and it catches your attention. So I just wanted something to catch your attention. We have thousands of people that click on our video, they look at it, and they don't click through. So of course, this is a game of numbers and algorithms that I don't understand, so we're just trying something different. So hopefully I didn't offend anyone. How do I set my stops? I set my stops on the underlying always, even if I'm trading options. If I'm trading options long against $3,000, for example, and Amazon hits $29.95, I'm out. I don't base my stop on options. I base it on the underlying. And if I'm going long, so for example, if you're going long on Zoom, if you want to try 126 or 124.98, let's say it's 126. If it hits 125.85, you're out. Stop out. If you're using 124.98 and it hits 124.93, for example, I always like to give wiggle room, you're out. So that's how you use stops. Amazon, let me do Amazon for Tamazon. My girl. Okay, so Amazon broke bear yesterday on the daily. Plenty of room for a weekly higher low. So Tammy, notice that. We've got plenty more room on Amazon than we do QQQ for a higher low. We've just retraced 50%. I like Amazon to the long side, being cautious. We got that bear break without a lot of follow through. No squeeze. We don't have any. I wish we had more pressure. We have pressure on the hourly, I guess. I like a pullback buy to 2991 area. Square. Yeah, you can hit that like button. Okay. Daily, no longer oversold. Weekly, deeply oversold. Monthly, not oversold. And monthly, we're looking for a higher low on Square, believe it or not. These are not pivots, these little wick downs. We're looking for a monthly higher low. And typically a good place to do that is 4 hour and daily oversold, but we've hit that and not bounced. Could be a 4 hour bear flag. We need to be cautious. Over 97.39, bulls feel a little better. Over 99.45, they feel a lot better. I like a dip buy of 94.50 or 93.76. Aw, Kate, you're sweet. Kate, you're my new BFF. I didn't do Tesla. I did do Tesla. Yeah, I did. I like it. Hourly inverse head and shoulder setup. I like it a lot. If I like a buy of 830 all the way to 820 area. Para. Yeah, Fred, just because you asked so nice. What was Para before? Was that Viacom? I think it's Viacom. And they have a good dividend, don't they? Yeah, dollar. Yeah, it's a good dividend. What is that, 96 cents against 27.85? That's not a bad dividend. We have daily inside bar, so that's where we're going to start. Resistance 29.14, support 27.75. On the hour, ooh, Fred. This could be a little falling wedge. We're getting these little lower lows without a lot of follow through. You're footloose and fancy free over 29.14, and if I'm you, I love a dip buy back to 27.75 using 27.62 as my stop. You're welcome. Square has earnings tomorrow, Tammy, and that's why you're the bee's knees. Thanks, Rich. All right. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. One more because y'all got messed over yesterday with the internet issue. CRUZ. What is this? Okay, first of all, low volume. 100,000 shares traded yesterday. So if you have, what is that? Is that 2 million? Why can't I do that math? Anyway, that is really low liquidity. You got higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. Actually, this is set up for a diamond bearish reversal pattern. Resistance 23.93. Resistance 22.47, 22.64, 22.82. Support 22.02. Then 21.99, 21.75. You got low liquidity issues. You got a daily downtrend. I'm Chargal Lori. Thank you for joining me. Follow me on Twitter, Chargal Lori. Go check out chartguys.com. Check out the rest of our YouTube channel, or just check stuff out. If you're interested in my chart setup, it's down below in the YouTube description. You can go click on that link. It'll tell you what all my rainbow bright colors are on my chart. Use stop losses, TCGers. I'll see you in the room. Love you all. AR, I like dividend stocks and I want to add more in the next month or two. That's it. Bye.